Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're here to cut through the noise, take a whole stack of info, and really pull out the key stuff for you. The goal, simple, get you well informed, maybe surprise you a bit, and hopefully keep it interesting along the way. Today we are jumping right into a book that, honestly, it challenges pretty much everything you think you know about your own limits. We're talking David Goggins' Can't Hurt Me, Master Your Mind and Defy the Odds. Came out in 2018. And look, this is not your average self-help book. It's about 360-something pages, and it's just raw, intense, brutally honest. Goggins himself, well, the book dives deep into his story. Navy SEAL, ultra-marathon guy, but he started as, get this, a nearly 300-pound exterminator. The whole story is just this incredible journey out of, well, everything. Abuse, poverty, racism, obesity, fear, just immense obstacles. But it's way more than just his story. It's like a wake-up call. The core message hits hard. Your mind is lying to you. You can probably do like 10 times more than you think. So our mission today is to unpack that, pull out the main insights, the practical stuff Goggins offers to, unlock that potential.
Yeah, and what makes this book so impactful, I think, is how it weaves together his really personal, often quite harrowing story with these universal lessons about mental toughness. It's not just about him. It's the blueprint he lays out, which can feel pretty uncomfortable, frankly, for anyone who feels stuck by their own perceived limits. So this deep dive, it's really about exploring what it actually means to push past that point where you think you have to stop.
Okay, let's get into it then. First up, this concept he calls the 40% rule. He basically says, when your mind tells you you're done, you're really only at 40% of your capacity, which implies, most of us just stop way too early, like the second it gets uncomfortable.
Right. And it's a pretty bold claim, isn't it, the 40% rule? But it taps into something fundamental about how we're wired. Our minds are designed to protect us from pain, from discomfort. So they send out these stop signals way, way before we're actually at our physical limit.
So it's not necessarily exactly 40% for everyone?
Probably not. Literally 40.0%, no. It's more about the principle. The idea that your perceived limit. It's usually a psychological barrier, a comfort zone, not a true physical wall. We're operating, most of the time, with a huge reserve tank we don't even touch. It's about learning to question that first I'm done feeling.
Okay, so if we're only using 40%, then the obvious next question is, how do we tap into that other 60%? And that brings us to his idea of callous your mind. The analogy is pretty straightforward, right? Like your hands get tough from hard work. He says you can do the same for your mind by deliberately doing hard things over and over. He talks about, the extreme stuff like ice baths, waking up crazy early, pushing workouts way past comfortable.
Exactly. And it's not about being reckless. It's about systematically building mental resilience, discipline. You're essentially practicing being uncomfortable. So when life throws real discomfort at you, you're better prepared to handle it. You don't fold immediately.
So what's a practical starting point? Not everyone's going to jump into an ice bath tomorrow.
No, definitely not. It could be small, really small, like always taking the stairs, or maybe that task you dread doing, do it first thing, get it out of the way. Or meditating for 5 minutes if you find sitting still difficult. It's about choosing voluntary hardship, however minor, to build that mental callus.
Right, starting small to build the muscle. Okay, now, alongside callousing your mind, Goggins hammers on self-honesty, brutal self-honesty, which leads to maybe his most jarring technique, the accountability mirror.
Right.
He literally stood in front of his mirror every day, confronted his failures, wrote goals on sticky notes on the mirror, and the self-talk was harsh. Stuff like, you're fat, you're lazy, fix it, no pulling punches.
Yeah, it sounds really harsh. And people might think, isn't that just beating yourself up? Demotivating?
Exactly. Where's the line?
Well, I think for Goggins, it's not about self-hate. It's about cutting through self-deception, the stories we tell ourselves. You can't fix a problem if you won't even admit it exists, right? Especially if you're truly stuck. The key, I think, is making it about actions, not identity, not I am lazy, but I'm acting lazy right now and I need to change that. It's about owning your current reality to change it. Radical ownership.
Owning it. Okay, so you face the truth in the mirror, you start doing hard things, but progress isn't linear, right? You're going to struggle. And that's where his cookie jar concept comes in. I like this one. The idea is you mentally store away all your past victories. Times you overcame something tough, big or small, keep them in a mental cookie jar. Then when things get really hard, you mentally reach into that jar, pull out a cookie, and remind yourself, hey, I got through that. I can get through this.
It's a fantastic tool. And it's more than just positive thinking because it's active and evidence-based. You're not just telling yourself, I can do it. You're consciously retrieving specific proof. Real memories of past successes. Psychologically, this builds what we call self-efficacy. It's like you're building a case file, proving to your own brain that you are capable. Because, look, here's the evidence. You've done hard things before.
Right, you're drawing on your own history. Makes sense. Okay, so we've got internal tools, self-honesty, remembering wins, but then Goggins introduces something that feels pretty intense, aggressive even, this idea of take souls. He talks about not just getting through tough situations, but dominating them, outworking everyone, critics, opponents, even his own self-doubt. Like in SEAL training, apparently he'd try to outperform the instructors sometimes just to mentally break them, or at least prove he couldn't be broken. What's really going on there? Is it just extreme competitiveness?
That phrase, take souls,
Yeah.
it definitely grabs your attention. And yeah, it sounds aggressive. But I think it's crucial to understand, for Goggins, it's primarily an internal war. He's talking about taking the soul of his own limitations, his insecurities, the doubts planted by his past. When he talks about outworking instructors or critics, it's less about them and more about proving to himself that the negative forces, internal or external, don't control him. He controls him. It's a mindset shift from just enduring pain to actively using that pressure to prove your own dominance over yourself, ultimately.
Right.
It gives you a powerful psychological edge in tough moments.
Okay, so it's more about conquering your inner demons than anything else.
Not it.
And the book isn't just philosophy. He includes practical challenges, right, at the end of chapters.
Yes, that's a key part. It's meant to be actionable.
Things like writing down your failures and traumas to face them, setting up your own accountability mirror, doing something uncomfortable every single day, intentionally, and learning to see suffering not as something to escape, but maybe as a teacher.
Exactly. These aren't just suggestions. They're core to his method. You have to do the work. Applying these principles, actually engaging in these uncomfortable actions, that's how the transformation he talks about supposedly happens. It moves from theory to reality.
Yeah, you can definitely feel that urgency in his writing. And some of the quotes just stick with you. They're not gentle reminders. Like, you are in danger of living a life so comfortable and soft that you will die without ever realizing your true potential. Wow.
Hits hard.
Or the only thing more contagious than a good attitude is a bad one. Simple, but true. And maybe the core of it all, nobody is going to come help you. It's you against you.
Yeah, those really capture, don't they?
Yeah.
That raw, no excuses vibe. It just cuts through any idea that someone else is responsible or that some external fix is coming. It puts it all squarely back on you. Your effort, your mindset.
So who should read this? Who is this really for? It feels like it's for anyone feeling stuck, maybe, or lost, or like Goggins might say, feeling a bit soft. Definitely anyone chasing big goals, fitness, career, just mental discipline.
Absolutely. Athletes, entrepreneurs, students, military personnel, obviously.
Right.
But also, I think people who are dealing with the aftermath of failure or even trauma. His story is so extreme in terms of overcoming adversity, it can offer a pretty potent, if intense, form of inspiration.
Yeah, intense is the word. So recapping, Can't Hurt Me. It's just this raw exploration of mental toughness, pushing limits, beating odds that seem impossible. It's not a polished read, definitely not poetic, but it feels incredibly real, powerful. The message seems to be embrace pain, see it as a tool, maybe even a weapon, and be very, very wary of comfort, because that's where potential goes to die. It's a definite wake-up call. And hopefully these deep dives help you get right to the heart of material like this. That's the aim.
Definitely. And maybe to leave you with something to chew on, building on Goggins. If you really took that idea seriously, that your mind is lying about your limits, that you genuinely might be capable of 10 times more, what's just one thing, one uncomfortable thing you could choose to do today? Something small, even, to start, callousing your mind. Just consider that. How might even a tiny act of voluntary discomfort start to chip away at those perceived limits and show you what else might be in there?